I had the pleasure of staying in this glorified cottage for a week in these luscious green mountainscapes that surround Oaxaca City. The point of this staycation was to slow down with myself, prioritize some of my healing practices, and simply be. A huge part of my healing recently has been allowing my body to feel like a home, learning how to regulate my nervous system as well as co-regulate with others. I am creating more emotional safety for myself and those that I am in a loving exchange with by doing so. I share some of my thoughts on the impacts of systemic oppression on the development of Black and Brown folks' attachment and emotional safety later on in this video. So come along with me as I cook nourishing meals, connect with spirit, move my body, hang out with the trees, and listen to the birdsong soundscapes. What am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? Eggs and bacon. We actually bought so much food to come up to the mountains, and I'm not mad about it. Like, I haven't had bacon in a hot minute, but I was like, why not? Like, sometimes I feel like making bacon just makes me feel so luxurious. Like, I'm having a special Saturday morning breakfast. Like, it's like brunch. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make myself brunch. We're gonna have bacon and eggs and avocado, maybe a smoothie. So, I'm gonna get to cooking that. The bacon's like just as good today as it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Wow.
You want a bite?
I want to videotape it.
We just bit into one though.
That's okay. Okay, so it's 5 p.m. I did yoga. It was lovely. I think one of the essential pieces of a very calm nervous system for me is doing something that's going to get me into my body, out of my head. And yeah, I didn't have a ton of energy, so I just did a quick 30-minute practice, but it was everything. I'm just gonna put together a little snack, a charcuterie board, and just talk. Let's talk, you know? Trauma has been like really big on my mind recently, as I'm sure is the case for a lot of people. I've been really curious about somatic therapy and somatic experiencing and what that really looks like. When people say that trauma lives in the body, or when like a practitioner will say to you, where do you feel that in your body? It's like, what are we actually asking? And how do we know where things are stored in the body? Yes, of course, trauma denotes like a specific event or a repetitive, like ongoing exposure to a traumatic event. That's what trauma is. You have acute trauma, chronic trauma, and then complex trauma, where it's like a just series of different events interacting with each other. But what about trauma in terms of like systemic oppression? It's maybe not a specific event. It's like the structural means in which we live and survive and attempt to thrive. What does somatic experiencing really mean for somebody who has experienced that type of trauma? It can be difficult for me to consume information about trauma theory or trauma-informed care from, frankly, somebody who isn't Black or at least of color. Like, I need there to be that lens as I'm learning about somatic therapy and trauma-informed care. We just like started talking after yoga about, like what is trauma? Just like got into this conversation about attachment trauma specifically and how it shows up in Black families. It seems like due to capitalism, there has been a conflation of nurture and provide. I think for a lot of Black families existing within capitalism, it can feel difficult to prioritize nurture when you are trying to create security financially and just in terms of safety for your family. I think with my upbringing and, just similar narratives from other Black folks in my life, there might have been a lack of that. A better understanding of what nurture actually is, an understanding of how important it is to hold your child and to cuddle them and to, just express physical forms of affection. The physical security was meant to count for emotional security. And right now, just doing a deeper dive into my own trauma and specifically attachment trauma, it's tough because we had everything growing up. But there were definitely moments where I was emotionally neglected, and we're all doing the best we can. I am no longer in a place where my parents need to be blamed for anything that I experience as an adult. Because I also think that there's a gradual coming to over time, right? Like I feel like as an adult, now there is this warmth and this emotional security that I experienced from my parents. Maybe it just takes time to develop that muscle through capitalism and be able to reach a goal in terms of physical security, financial security that allows you to then tap into more emotional ways of relating and being with family members and specifically children. I need to finish making this board because it's been a minute. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you know any Black or POC, even better if they're queer, Someone with these intersectionalities that focuses on trauma-informed care and somatics, drop their info, because I'm searching, I'm on the hunt. I want to bring more of a body awareness, body intelligence into my practice and offer that to others. Okay, I'm in bed now, so I think that means that's the end of today's video. The soup was delicious. It was a perfect dinner, and yeah, I had a really beautiful day, and I'm definitely going to bed feeling very regulated, very calm, and just grateful. I talked to my mom for a little bit too, and that was sweet. If your mom is alive and you have a good relationship with her and you're away from her, call her. She probably wants to hear from you, and you'll probably feel really great after talking to her. At least that's how I felt today after talking to my mom. So call your mom. And let me know in the comments what you liked, what you want to see more of. Happy to keep making videos like these if it is actually calming or nourishing in any way for you. I hope that you transition well into whatever is next for you. Good night.